Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for a dynamic effort lower day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos. Please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. So, went with a little more band tension today, a little less bar weight on the box squats. Did 8 doubles, took me a couple sets to really get my speed up and going, but near the end I was happy with them. Although I did lose my balance after the first rep because of the bands on the very last set. But that's okay. What I'm doing with these right now, I'm working these really, really wide. And, we may come through to where we rotate narrow and wide, but since I'm going into this meet, going into worlds with a wide stance, I want to just continue that on the boxes. I'm not that worried about overuse. My volume's reasonable. I feel good, everything else. But, I am dieting going in at the end, but we'll get a nice good refeed after weigh-in. But again, need to focus on making weight. Deadlifts feel great other than I'm a little worried about grip at the moment. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do different with grip. I did some axle bar deadlifts earlier this week, but I finished this workout with some dead hangs, and we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, these 8 doubles felt good. I really felt comfortable getting myself into pretty much a low bar placement. Right, even with this power bar, or sorry, with the deadlift bar. This is the Texas deadlift bar, same bar I will be competing with. All 3 of the competition bars I own ones that I'll be using at Worlds. I own the bars, I've been training on them. But yeah, I'm getting to where my shoulder health is feeling good enough to do this, which is the reason my bench went up. A lot of people gave me a hard time about the bench earlier this year, and they were forgetting I was benching mid 300s before I had shoulder issues. And, I think we found the culprit. Ultimately, the culprit for my shoulder issues is overhead pressing at all. Seems to be an issue. And maybe one day I can resolve that. But a lot of it was also that overuse from pull-ups. And if I just limit my pull-up volume every week, my injuries, voila, they go down. They're gone. But I want to continue to work on that shoulder health. I'd love to be able to eventually do some overhead pressing, although it may not be a lot of barbell. I might do dumbbells. A lot of my lifters respond really well to those dumbbell overhead presses. So, I'd love to be able to do some of them again. But that aside, the shoulder health is doing great. And these are pain-free. And I think what I'm going to do in coming phases, I'm probably going to do most of my speed squats with a bar like this. Okay, it seems to be fine on my shoulders as long as I keep them healthy. And I think the dead hangs will help with that a little bit again, right? And they'll help with the grip, because grip seems to really be what's limiting my deadlift. But I'm going to be doing, a lot of loaded carries and all sorts of stuff after this. GPP is going to be high. I'm going to really work on GPP conditioning and just staying in shape in these coming phases. I think it's going to be important, right? Because I need to be lean and fill out my weight class. If I'm going to go up to do the 220, I still need to get leaner because I need to get bigger. Okay, size equals strength potential. So I've got to continue to gain muscle, okay, particularly my upper body, all right, arms, delts, all that stuff. Speed pulls did 6 doubles. I looped the bands a little different, and they were crazy tight at the top, just because of the way I wanted to set it up. I don't like running them too far forward because the bar gets rolled up and then it gets in a weird position as far as uneven tension. That's all going to go away. That's all going to go away with my new deadlift platform. I already bought it. It's in the garage. So, once all the move is complete, I'll have it set up, and, you guys will see me using it this year, right? I have it. I've got a separate bench set up. About to upgrade my reverse hyper. But, with the speed pulls, I've realized if I do these in good mornings, I don't need the glute ham raises. That's one thing I've noticed is I wore that glute ham raise out again. Glute ham raises give me so much cramping, and they give me tendon issues and everything, and my hamstrings. They make my hamstrings grow. But I'm beginning to question the deadlift carryover, and I'm beginning to question if they're worth it on recovery for me personally, not for everyone. And I feel they did contribute, but I'm at a point where I don't lose hamstring strength when I go 3 or 4 months without doing them. I jump on there and I'm just as strong on them as I ever was. So I'm not losing development. And these other movements will build my hamstrings. The speed pulls, I'm going to start working in push good mornings real hard again. And then we're going to push progression on the reverse hyper. All right, I'm going to treat it like any of my other lifts. Again, having a heavier, bigger reverse hyper is going to help a lot. But yeah, we did 6 doubles here. They felt good. They were tremendous on the grip because the bend tension was much higher at the top than normal. These bands got stretched pretty far. It really, really beat my hands up in my grip. But that's a good thing. We need to keep working that. Like again, grip, grip, grip. And I think all the loaded carries, and I'm going to get a rope for my prowler so that I can pull it and then push it. Like I can sit down and pull it with the rope. And that'll handle some of my pulling volume. So that's one of the things. I may only do 6 sets of pull-ups a week. All right. These, I kept them fairly easy. Stuck with a weight I can comfortably get 10s. Did my 3 sets of 10. Doing the wide stance. Nice and wide like I'm going to squat. Again, just for the carryover. But again, once we get into the next phase, we're going to do a lot of movement rotations. We're going to moderate volume like this. This is what my DE days might look like after this, although I may start working in some good mornings too. All right, we'll probably work in some good mornings. But everything's going to be no more than really 3 sets outside of my speed work. I think that's the way I need to do stuff. Even the reverse hypers, as hard as I'm going to push them, of really wanting the most out of each set, I think it's fair to say I don't really need 5 sets. That's going to impact progression. All right, so the question becomes, are we just trying to get pump volume versus are we trying to get stronger even at our supplemental work? And I think we need to be getting stronger. And if I max out the machine, then, we work towards 20s. But, the thing is, when I got to the reverse hypers today, I got 12, then I got 15, I got 16. So here's a baseline I want to reach. I want to get up to where maybe with this weight, I can get sets of 20. And then we'll go up. But I feel like the reverse hyper I want to buy coming up will be able to handle more weight. There's no actual weight limit listed, which suggests to me that the company thinks that with calibrated plates, they're not really setting a limit. Unlike the really lightweight budget one I have here, they're saying 700, that's the limit. And I can tell based upon the posts and stuff, I'm a little worried I'm already going to break it. With 630, right? It's starting to feel like it. But I did 2 sets of hanging leg raises here also. Knocked these out just to get some abs, get some hip flexor work in. And I do like this. As far as abdominal work goes, if you want an abdominal exercise that's going to carry over to your squats, I think this is the best one. Dave Tate has said that in the past. I'm inclined to agree with him. Not that I want to argue with Dave Tate about anything. Obviously very successful elite coach, right? And I don't think we can deny that fact. But I think he makes a valid point when he points that out. And if you look at the biomechanics, I can see why. All right, so like I said, the reverse hypers, normally I do 5. I just did 3 sets. The first set felt a little off, But again, I want to just get really, really, really strong at these. And by doing this is what's really, I felt like, has built my deadlift. This is what's got my deadlift up over 600. So if I can continue to use this tool and get a heavier one and just get real strong at it, maybe get up to where I can do 700 plus for sets of 20. We will have the hip extension strength that we need. Build the whole posterior chain, lower back. The upside is my lower back doesn't ever really get sore or tired or strained or anything else from deadlifts over 600 these days. I think this tool has been what did it for me. All right. And after these, I finished up with 1 set of dead hangs. Now, not only was my grip a little fatigued from all this other stuff, but also my shoulders started hurting when I'm doing it. They're like, oh my God, because I haven't done dead hangs in a while. And when I was doing my shoulder rehab, they used to hurt like hell. And it didn't hurt nearly as bad as that today, but I definitely felt that little bit of pain. So again, it's letting me know I need to stretch those ligaments and stuff out. Because always point out to people when they see the overhead stuff, they're like, oh, you're not locking. I'm like, I literally can't. My shoulders will not go that far, right? My shoulders will not go that far. So for it to be locked, I've got to look locked. I have to do an ultra wide grip. And the same is true on pull-ups and stuff. And it's just because my shoulders, I can't like take my arms and raise them straight overhead and have them 90 degrees. I cannot physically do it. So you guys may notice that even with the dead hangs, I'm dropping into a dead hang. This is not an active hang. That is my full lockout. Unless you guys think I'm just strong enough to hold that. With my full body weight, I'm not. But these will help with my grip, because we really need a grip to come up, and I want to continue to work on my shoulder health. So just did one set of these till my shoulders started getting fatigued, hurting a little. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.